So, Madam Chairperson, Mr. President of the Economic and Social Council, and Mr. Undersecretary General for Economic and Social Affairs, and distinguished guests and colleagues, I'm very happy to be here today to celebrate the work of the United Nations program and the division. And I freely admit that I am older than the program and division, and that's somewhat surprising. When I first visited the United Nations, actually in the early 1950s, with my family, I never thought that I would have the opportunity really to engage with fellow professionals in the important work here. And I think we want to remind ourselves what that work is. We are, and the division really is providing the leadership with the program too. We are producing a substantial amount of the GDP around the world, perhaps a third or more by all measures, and the essential capacity building that is done through these programs enhances the quality of life of billions of people. It is fundamentally important. We are not just dealing with systems or abstractions. We are really dealing with the experiences people have and the quality of their lives from day to day, from year to year, and we are contributing as a group here to their optimism and their hopefulness and their progress. And I just want, reviewing the work of the division and the program over the years, I just wanted to emphasize some themes that have run through it and to remind us that this is really a sort of a formula for capacity building, as has been cited by the other speakers. I think there are 5 things that really have occurred, and one is an emphasis on honest business-like government as the foundation for government. The second is enhancing the classic management model and drawing from that knowledge base. The third is really empowering public managers to implement public policy. The fourth is an emphasis on human behavior and motivation in terms of individuals and groups as the essential parts of our public organizations, the parts we spend, perhaps 85% of our effort on, of our budgets on. And the fifth is program effectiveness and accountability, which is more and more important as we go along. And in terms of that fifth emphasis, I think that what we've seen is that the work here, and it's represented in all those publications there and everything that is on UNPAN, deals with themes such as managing for quality and long-term planning. Second, developing human resources. The third, adapting technologies such as e-governance, or adapting, let's say, the technology of the web to e-governance. Fourth, building partnerships with private organizations, with other public organizations, with NGOs. And fifth, measuring for performance and accountability. And that knowledge base, fortunately, is available on UNPAN. I think UNPAN is one of the most significant resources that the UN has provided worldwide. And I think we want to keep underscoring that and arguing for increased investments there, because the leadership in developing UNPAN certainly deserves our continued support. I think overall, then, what we find is that these programs, this work is really developing public trust. And trust is what we need to maintain support for the public sector, for the willingness to put resources into the public sector as necessary investments. And that trust has several dimensions that we've seen in the work here. Legality, an emphasis on integrity, efficiency as well as effectiveness, involvement of all stakeholders, dependability of public services, transparency, which is one of the emerging emphases we've seen, and it'll be more and more important as we go along, and fairness. And overall, this is really delivered by public servants. So I want to go back to the remarks on the screen by Ban Ki-moon and by others here, that nothing is more important as the ethic of public service as a foundation for all of this. We have our technical systems, but we also want to recognize that the dedication of professionals over the course of their careers is really what makes all of this possible. And I think we have seen it here in the careers of Guido Bertucci, careers of others, the awards that have been made to dedicated professionals by this, by this program, that this is the human capital that drives everything else, and that ultimately improves the quality of life worldwide. So I myself am very appreciative of this. On behalf of the American Public Administration community and the American Society for Public Administration, I really want to convey our congratulations. So, thank you very much.
I would like to call on Dr. Zhu, Vice Chairperson